Welcome back, guys. My at the cave in Fairfax, Virginia, and I am here for another Whispers of the Old Gods card review. And this time, I'm going to be doing Priest, and boy, are they bad. Okay, let's get on with this. Let's start with the Priest Legendary, 6 mana, 5/5. Herald Full Jazz Battle. 6 mana, 5/5. Summon a 1/1 copy of each of your other minions. So you want to be using this on cards like Ragnaros or Sarah, cards with persistent effects at the end of turn, or maybe Death Rattle minions like Sneeze or Sylvanas. Sneeze is being rotated out, maybe can't. It just my thing about this card is that if you can play this card and get the value that you want out of it, you're already winning the game. It seems like Sethune Priest might be a thing, so maybe Priest will play the 3 mana 3/4 Sethune card you're gonna see later on, and it's gonna and then they can get more Sethune buffs at the end of the turn, and that card needs to live. A 3 more 3/4 living like that, and a Sethune deck is probably not going to. It's just this card is not that good. I just don't see a place for it. And 6 mana 5/5 does nothing, is not good enough in Priest, especially when Priest already has 6 drops like Entomb and Cabal Shadow Priest, which are both insane to contest it. So I think this is a 2 out of 5, because it's a win more card. That's strictly what it is. Like, if Ragnaros is sticking, you're probably already winning the game. Anyways, let's move on. Forbidden Shaping. I love this card. I think this card is awesome for a Forbidden card. You're probably wondering why, because when I hate Forbidden Ancient, which is more consistent. But this card, the thing about control, let me actually go over it first. 0 mana, spend all your mana, summon a random minion that costs that much. The thing about Control Priest is, it has a lot of turns where it just can't be proactive. So it removes one of your minions, and then it does nothing, and it just heals itself for the rest of the mana. Because it's a reactive deck. It plays cards like Power Word, Shadow Word Death, Shadow Word Pain, Arcanine Circle. It just reacts to things. And it never has a chance to be proactive. And whenever it runs proactive cards, it's hard to fit those in on top of removing minions. But this lets you be proactive with as much mana as you want in Priest. Now, a random minion in general is going to be less impactful than any than a minion you purposely put in your deck. The thing is, the flexibility of this card I think is worth it, because in a deck like Control Priest you need that flexibility. And then if someone did the math on Reddit, and at 8 mana, there's almost no bad scenarios with this card. So I think it's awesome. And then if you play this for 2 mana, what are you doing? I think, and you get like a Doomsayer, I think you deserve it if you play this for 2 mana. But if you play this for like 4, 5, 6, it's good. Like 6 is a really good slot, especially in this expansion to play it, and then like 8 mana, so like you can Shadow Word Death and then play this thing, and then it also has a potential to just be a good 8-drop. I think this card is really good if Control Priest is the thing. So I'm gonna give this a 3 out of 5 because its application is really only in a Super Control Priest, but besides that, it's really not going to see much play. But I think it's cool. Shadow Word Horror. Destroy all minions with 2 or less attack. When this card is good, it is good. But the situations with this card are very, very few to none. So, like, Priest already has Arcanine Circle, they already have Holy Nova, they already have Pyromancer combos with Power Word Shield and other things. It's just like, do they need this card to remove weenie minions? I don't think they do. So it's gonna be a niche tech card and like maybe a super aggro meta, and maybe I'm missing the potential of it because we haven't seen how the set is going to play out yet. So it's hard to read this card, but in my personal opinion, it's not gonna be that good except for when it's really good. So I'm gonna give this a 2 out of 5 because you can use it as a tech card to destroy certain aggro decks. Because, again, certain aggro decks, it's going to be nuts. Besides that, it isn't going to see much play. Embrace the Shadow. 2 mana. This turn, your healing effects deal damage instead. So, this is like another substitute for Arcanine Soul Priest. I think this card has a lot of potential. When I first saw it, I thought it was just straight up garbage. But the more I thought about it, the better, in my opinion, it got. This is not, I mean, it has the ability to be played on earlier turns, but it's really not a card you play in earlier turns. It's a card you play later on, and it gives you, and if ever a Priest Burst deck becomes a thing, Priest has a lot of burst now, this is the card you want to play over Arcanine Shadow Priest, because Arcanine Shadow Priest costs 4, this costs 2, and it's easier to combo in. But the thing is, Priest doesn't have much draw effects, so a deck like that is really hard to make. Like, all they really have is Northshire Cleric, which requires a bunch of cards in itself and a lot of mana to become good. A good draw engine, so I don't really see Priest having the cards right now to support a deck like that. So, I think this card has a lot of potential, but is not going to see play right now. So I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5. Darkshire Alchemist. Battlecry, restore 5 health. This works like Earth Ring Farseer. It can be used on minions. So, and it's a 5 mana 4/5, which is not awful. It just, so you're playing Yeti and then you're healing something for 5. Your face, a minion. So you're playing 1 mana to heal 5 health. So it's basically like playing a Yeti and a Flash Heal in 1 card. And that's cool. And this can definitely see some play. Honestly, this is one of the more playable Priest cards, in my opinion. It synergizes with all their different heal effects. It synergizes and it helps them deal with aggressive decks. It heals. And it's good in the control matchups. You can use it to trade into something and then heal that minion up. It's a solid card. Now, is it really over? It's not really impressing me, it's the thing. It's not like, oh my god, I'm going to play this in every Priest deck. I may put this in as a one-off, though. So, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. It's solid. It's going to see play, but I don't think it's going to see much play. Hooded Acolyte. 4 mana, 3/6. Whenever a character is healed, give Sithune +1/+1 wherever it is. Now, the stat line for a card like this is good. Like, you want this card be able to live, especially in Priest. You want more health on your minions in general to gain more value of your hero power. Also, it has the ability to buff your Sithune a lot. But the thing is it's constantly buffing your Sithune with like a circle healing play over like using it for Arcanine Circle. I mean, I guess if you're ahead, like really far ahead, and this card has a potential to gain persistent value. It's not unplayable. It's solid, and it'll probably be C play in Sithune Priest if Sithune Priest is a thing. So I'm going to probably give this a 3 out of 5. It's decent. It will probably see a little bit of play. Power Word Tentacles. God Blizzard. Why do you have to name it this? Twitch chat, though, is going to have a lot of fun with it. Give a minion +2/+6. Now, traditionally, you want your Priest minions to have a lot of health. But when you buff minions, you usually want to buff it and then trade into something. So, and then for 5 mana, is 2 attack worth it? In my opinion, usually no. And then in a meta, we'll probably things like Assassinate, Siphon Soul, Polymorph are going to see a lot more play because there's a lot more bigger minions in the meta. This card gains less value. It's just less good because more often it's just going to be removed with those cards. And then it's just not that much of a tempo gain for 5 mana. Like, I'd rather be playing the earlier Priest card than this. The earlier 5 mana Priest card. Which actually, even the more I think about it, that card is maybe better. And maybe I have to revisit my review on that card. Because if you, the card to actually compare that to is Shield Maiden, and Shield Maiden saw a lot of play. So, but the thing is that the priests don't have Shield Slam, but you can use that. That priest, I'd rather play that priest card over this one, is what I'm trying to say. And I think this card is just like not that good in general. So I'm gonna give it a 1 out of 5. I don't see it seeing play. Maybe in arena. Where the chance of your opponent having that kind of removal is not that high. Shifting Shade. 4 mana, 4/3, Death Rattle. Copy a card from your opponent's deck and add it to your hand. So it's a 4 mana, 4/3, and Thought Seal for 1. Here's the thing. A lot of classes are getting 4/5s for 4 right now in this expansion. My issue with this card is this card does not trade well with 4 mana 4/5. It doesn't. And the kind of deck you want, and so it's like you kind of want to put this on the board for control, and then it doesn't draw a card. It gets a random card in your opponent's deck, which can like literally be like against a rogue. It can be like Deadly Poison or Blade Flurry, and you're just like, I can't do anything with this. It's not that good. I wish they made it a 5/3 at least, because then it would trade 1-for-1 with the 4 mana 4/5, and then it would draw you one, and it would be kind of cool. But I think the 4/3 stat line is just not good enough for this card. But it might see play in arena, so I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 5. It has a low. It's decent. It's not awful. It's just I don't see it making the cut for constructed with a lot of 4 mana 4/5s in the meta. Twilight Darkmender. 5 mana, 6/5, decent stats. Battlecry, if your Sithun has at least 10 attack, restore 10 health to your hero. This card is good. It does. Okay, it's actually really good. Because heal effects in Hearthstone, as I said earlier, are really, really good. There's been no heal card besides Voodoo Doctor in the history of Hearthstone that's not seen competitive play. It's just, I don't know if Sithun Priest is gonna really be a thing. Like, we haven't seen anything wowing for Priest in Sithun. Maybe because there's some neutrals that are really good in Priest with Sithun, but Priest is actually a pretty good deck that can play on curve and trade a lot because of its hero power, constantly getting value out of those minions. And maybe when all those cards combine, Sithun Priest is actually a really good thing, and then this gives it the ability to win against face decks like Aggro Shaman and Freeze Mage. So if Sithun Priest is a good thing, is a deck, this is a really, really good card. So, but if it's not, this card, again, is just unplayable. So I'm going to give this, actually 4 out of 5. I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 if Sithun Priest is good, which I don't know if it's going to be good. The Priest is a deck that wants to go long, so Sithun is natural for it because you want to go long with Sithun, but is Sithun Priest going to be amazing? Because the current Priest support cards we've seen with Sithun aren't that good. They aren't wowing me. But with the neutrals, Sithun Priest might be really, really good. We just have to see. And if it is, this card will definitely see play, and it's really, really solid. 10 health is a lot of health to heal. Like, if you compare this to Healbot, this is crazy. So, 4 out of 5. If Sethune Priest is good. Well, that's the end of the Priest reviews. So, if you guys want to see my Rogue review, which you will, because this is my favorite class. These are my new favorite class cards of the entire set. And I'm really excited to play Rogue. So, make sure to watch that video. Anyways, I will see you in the Rogue video. Thanks for watching, guys.